You may have 30 seconds, 1 minute. Okay. Oh, now it works. Okay. Is every mic is working? Um, it seems like there's some. It can be. It could be me.
Now we can.
There is someone scratching on a vinyl. Is it? Yeah, there's a deep room. Who's the DJ?
The DJ is in the place. The place.
Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Does that work? Yes. You hear me? Good. So thank you. I leave you 15 seconds to take a seat, and then we'll start. I've seen the caption. There's someone, captioning, who is the DJ in the room? It says that. So anyway, let's go ahead. Okay. We are almost on time. And as you perfectly know, we are talking about IT and technology in this session. Just let me introduce briefly. I'm Emiliano Deferrari, and I work for ENAT, the European Network for Accessible Tourism. I'm just moderating. I'll try to be as quick as possible because there is a lot of interesting things from these people around me. And but anyway, as you have seen from the program of the summit, we are trying to dig into technology and innovations in many aspects, because technology kind of permeates our lives, and it gives a lot of opportunities, from the moment in which we try to understand what people is searching for tourism reasons, naturally. Or, for example, we try to find the smartest way to find data, okay? And when we try to develop products and services that help people or as manager or staff in the tourist sector. And, we do that when we try to design useful services then for clients, for users, okay? And okay, in some other sessions, there will be people fooling you with the special effects, with virtual reality, with the AI. But in this session, we are gonna do another thing. We just try to connect the best smart and technical solution with our smart human ideas, okay, and intuitions. And so, with this in mind, we thought to present 4 different ways, okay, to apply technology, okay? And for example, an app to match demand and offer, or a multifaceted project by a youth hostel in a rural area, or helping designing and marketing more inclusive paths, okay, through information technology products, or trying to sharing open data, okay, about public transport to make it more accessible to users, okay? And so let's start with a simple app, okay? With some smart idea behind, I would say. And just to introduce you, Holger Kähler from Augsburg, Bavaria, okay? And you in 1991, you form videlis Seniorenreisen, okay? Which is a non-profit tour operator, which organizes group tours for seniors and people with disabilities in Germany, but also in other countries. And all those tours have been tested by yourself, right? And your current project is hilfmir.reisen, which means help me travel, okay? Which is the app to match travelers with specific needs to travel helpers. Please, the floor is yours. Okay, so presentation is going to start. Yeah, it's it. Next one, please.
Oh, that's the beginning of the after.
This is Maria. Maria likes traveling a lot. We see her, an old lady in a wheelchair, and a suitcase next to her. Maria cannot travel by herself. And if Maria is lucky, she finds an organization like videlis Seniorenreisen. There is an existing bus that is adapted for wheelchair users and transfers wheelchair users into the bus. And with this bus, my organization has been organizing, for example, trips along the river Danube. Usually, if you do a cruise and if you are a person with reduced mobility, you can use all the services on board a ship. But what happens if you arrive at the port? Hardly any accessible sightseeing option. But we had the idea in doing this since 2018 now, that the bus is traveling along the ship. Whenever the ship arrives to an harbor, the bus is awaiting there. My colleague Sarah will be presenting a similar project we're planning to launch it later this afternoon. Well, what are we doing? We do group trips for elderly and handicapped persons, and many clients are very happy with that. But often we have the demand of special needs, of very special needs. Single groups. Right? And ladies waiting.
There's something going wrong. Someone, so the people are not understanding the caption. Okay, there's some problem with the caption. So you could try to speak louder maybe, or there is another problem which we cannot do anything about. Let's try to go ahead and see.
Okay. Well, for example, there is a family that has a daughter in a wheelchair, and they want to go on a safari.
Okay, it seems okay. So since technology is fantastic, I'm talking to the captionists and say, "Hey, do you listen to me? Mi sentite?" Yes, they listen to me. So I will pass you the mic if it's fine for you. Okay. Okay. If you want me to change,
That would be nice.
just tell me, okay.
Okay, back to the family. They're still looking for a holiday opportunity to go with their daughter on a wheelchair on a safari. And there are many of these special wishes travelers want to do, and they come back to us because of a big experience. But to be honest, we haven't done this yet. We are still planning this. But as we have so many wishes of this kind, we had an idea. The idea is an app that matches the travelers with special needs to travel helpers, because travel barriers are often because you have no person who is accompanying you or who's helping you. And well, when we had this idea, it was like a vision sort of, and then we started to realizing it. And next slide, please. And after we had the idea in 2022, we needed quite a while to get a financing for these projects, because we were looking at quite a bit of money, and as a non-profit organization, we could not afford it. But we were lucky to get the funding of the DSEE, which is the national foundation in Germany for volunteer work and engagement. And so in 2024, we started the developing of this app. And well, the plan was to have it finished this year, but to be honest, we won't make it. We are still in the progress of programming. And the release is now planned for next year. What we have done already is a logo. It's shown on this slide. It shows two hands, one hand is carrying a suitcase and one hand is carrying a heart. And this is what the idea is. A traveler matched to a person that is willing to help somebody else with his needs. The name of the app, hilfmir.reisen, is selected very easy German, and also written in small letters, because this is the idea. Everything has to be very easy, very low barriers to use it, and that's the idea behind it. When we started, or when we got deeper into the development, we realized how encouraging this project is, or challenging this project is. We have, in the meantime, we have hundreds of criteria of all the different kinds of handicaps and restrictions a person could have. And we have now up to 4 different levels for each criteria to really define exactly what the needs are. And of course, we are not looking only to those handicaps that are that everybody can see. We also include the hidden handicaps. We learned this morning how many people have these hidden handicaps and they do not speak about it and they do not want to show them. And another big advantage of this app will be that it's fully adjustable. As I said, we have many more criteria now than we thought about in the beginning. The number of criteria will be growing during the next time. And it's very adjustable that we can add any new desire that might turn up. The easy access is very important. We still call it app, but it will not be an app. It will be a web-based application. Too difficult to explain the difference. I hardly got it myself. But the idea is very easy use. Use on a smartphone, because this is the device that most persons can use, even with their personal restrictions. And of course, it fulfills all the needs of barrier-free access, changing the light, the colors, changing the size, and all these things. Another big advantage, and I'm pretty happy that we found the developing team who is offering this, is the multilingual use. And then artificial intelligence is coming into the game, because it will be based in German and English, but the program or the software itself will translate all the criteria and these input into any other language, or other around. Any other language will be adapted to the criteria in our catalog. And this makes it as a tool that can be used worldwide. And this is what we are really happy that we gained this during the development process. Of course, data protection and data security is very important in this environment. We need very personal information of the travelers, and their need very personal. And of course, we have to keep this data very safe and very strict process, who is getting which information and who is allowed to use it and to share it and all these. Another aspect we always had in mind, and we are happy that we will fulfill it, is that we are open for extensions. Traveling, or accessible traveling, is not only finding the right person who is traveling with you, or the right expert that is accompanying you. It is much more. It's finding the fitting transport, it's finding the perfect accommodation, it's finding the best destination where to go to. And this application is so programmed that it's open for any extension and, of course, for any cooperation in that field. And I think we learn these days, we will learn that there's a lot of possibilities to use software to make traveling easier. And we have so many ideas, and we are very open for any cooperation in this matter. During our developing process, we met a consultant, and when he heard the idea and he realized what is possible with this idea, he said, "One day you will be the Google of accessible tourism." I don't believe it, and I do not have the aim to get there. But on the other hand, of course, we have a vision. And the vision is that one day a young lady from somewhere in the world and older men, blind men from somewhere in the world as well, that they match with this app and they find each other, and then they can go to a place wherever, maybe Torino or Paris or whatever. This is the vision we have, and the vision I would like to present. And yes, this is the actual state of our application. I would have been happy to present how it works, but our programming team, they are not that far, not yet, but they are happy that we are here and to present it to the world of accessible tourism. And yeah, thank you very much for your attention. And yeah, we are open for any cooperation, whatever. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Holger. We still have 1 minute, so I think I would like to ask a question. I know that there might be some questions from the public, but I have one question. So, and because you have talked about one side, how to profile the users, the people, the persons who want to find a helper, and have you already thought about how to profile or find the helper? Because helpers can be anyone, because we were talking about some privacy things related to but on the other side you have helpers who, if they want to help, either they are volunteers or working, because probably you think of both, I guess, and they should demonstrate to a certain extent they have some skills, or at least they are able to, or at least they have something which can be useful for the people who want to be helped. Have you thought something about something about that? Because I think this could be very interesting, both for users or potential helpers.
Yeah. And the app will have two sides. One side is the traveler side, and one is the helper side. And all the questions that traveler answers, and they are important, they match if the travel helper has given this information as well. Like if one is helping voluntarily, they will be matched. But if one helper has a profession, as a professional carer or whatever, and he wants to be paid, then they will only match if the travel guest agrees to find a paid travel helper. So the questions are very similar on both sides, and both sides have to answer all the applicable important questions. Then they match. And for speaking about costs, if a traveler for the traveler, the application will be always for free, and the travel helper will be for free as well, as long as he does not earn money with it. Only in the moment when a travel helper earns money with it, then he will have to pay whatever a little money.
Cannot displace that. Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
No. Okay. No, thank you very much, because I think it is quite an interesting part, and I think we have to follow you and see what's going to happen in 1 year, after that, and see it, alive and running. Okay. Thank you very much, Holger. And now it's the turn of Tatiana Alemán, Selva, okay, who is a senior consultant at ILUNION Accesibilidad, okay, and he is responsible for territorial planning, the physical environment, and inclusive tourism. And she also degree in architecture, okay, and a master in assistive technologies and accessibility and design for all. Yeah, okay, and she has been working since 2004. Almost like me, in the private. That's, I say that because we know since many years, and she has been working in the private sector, in the public sector, and in the third sector. Okay, coordinating projects related to universal accessibility in building, urban planning, tourism, culture, transport, and new technologies. Okay, and currently you are coordinating the drafting of different comprehensive accessibility plans for Spanish municipalities, which is quite interesting actually. And you are going to talk to us about access tour data, which is developed by the Soncillo Youth Hostel together with the ILUNION Accesibilidad. And the project, which is supported by EU funding, aims at to enhance universal accessibility in a rural area, right? And by different means, okay, of digital tools, okay, which will be good to improve information for tourists. So that is really interesting for us to know. So the floor is yours, Tatiana. I guess you have the microphone or not? No, you don't. Okay, that's for you.
Thank you, Emiliano.
You maybe want
Ah,
sit.
oh, sorry. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to explain you about the project that we already finished in the last month in September. And the first idea that I want to present is data is easy to creation of accessible and inclusive tourism experience. All we know that data in tourism is essential. It's essential for making strategic decisions, for personalizing experience, for using resources in a sustainable way. In addition, it drives sector digitalizations, improves marketing, and enable measurement of the economic and social impact on local communities. But our destination and tourist businesses generating, collecting, and using data related with accessibility. In 2023, ONCE Foundation and my company, ILUNION Accesibilidad, worked on the accessibility use case for the Spanish Smart Destination Platform. What is the Spanish Smart Destination Platform? It is an initiative of the Tourist Ministry. The PID is a public, open, modular, and scalable technological infrastructure that connect all agents of the tourist ecosystem and connect destinations, businesses, tourists, and residents. The purpose of this platform is to share any kind of data to manage in a better way, in a sustainable way, in an accessible way, destinations in Spain. When we did this project, any of the Spanish destinations were collecting data related with accessibility. No one was collecting data. So accessibility and touristic tools applied at the Spanish destination don't create useful data, neither for measuring nor for managing accessibility. These were 2 years ago. Right now, destinations are starting to collecting data related with accessibility. in that time when the data that was available was generated by digital tools, it was not open for destination and it was not open for business neither. So that this situation inspired our project. Our project is called Access to Data. What we want to do in this project? In this project, we want to do a laboratory when we can implement different kind of technology that already generate data related with accessibility. And this technology are already being using in destination in Spain. Some of this, I'm going to explain some of this technology. So when data is generated, we consider that doing this laboratory in a destination was too ambitious an idea. So what can we do? We can have this laboratory in one accommodation. So we are going to generate data, and we are collecting this data, and we use this data to create a dashboard to manage the accessibility in one accommodation. So what are the sources that we use in this project? We did a accessibility audit of the accommodation using the accessibility mapping system. The WillEasy accessibility mapping system is similar as your project. It's a web responsive when you have all the criteria, accessibility criteria for any kind of tourist resorts. And so you have to check if this accommodation complete this criteria. The other tool that we use is called Visualify. What is Visualify? Visualify is a tool for deaf people. It converts any type of sound into visual signal or alerts available on smartphone or smartwatches. And lights also. For example, if there is a sound that we have to get out of the building because there are an emergency, so these sounds, the lights start to clicking. So to alert deaf people that we have to, everybody have to get out. And that's how it works. We use also Navilens. Do you know everyone of this room what is Navilens? There are like a QR code, but in color, that we can read with an app, and we can read it in a long distance, more than 10 meters of distance.
You probably have seen it outside because
Yeah.
we're using Navilens in this.
In this Congress, I encourage to use it and to try this kind of technology. It's really helpful for blind people because it's improved the orientation on the space for blind people. And after that, we also do use home automation technology. It's a hard word. What we made is that the entrance and the entrance of the building and the accessible room was we implement different kind of solution in the accessible room. And the last sources of our data, we made a survey with 34 criteria of managing accessibility in one accommodation. Most of these criteria are legal exigence in Spain for accommodations. And we did this survey in the International Youth Hostel Network. Why did you choose this technology? Because every technology gives a solution for a type of accessibility need, for physical need, for deaf or impaired hearing. Thank you. for blind people also, and also Navilens. Navilens, you can introduce in Navilens any kind of information. You can introduce a web page, you can introduce a video in sign language, you can introduce pictures for people with cognitive needs, for example. So Navilens is it have any kind of a lot of kind of ways to use it. So this project was financed by the European funds Next Generation, called Next Generation, that is dedicated for the digitalization of the tourist sector in Spain, and I think in all Europe is the same. So what we done in this project? We did a diagnosis of the hostel's facilities and services. We did a diagnostics of the website of the hostels of the hostel. We implement these technologies. Right now, when you go to the webpage of the hostel, you can read the report that we made with the Word, with the tool of with the Word. But I think that the more important that we did on in this project also is that after the implementation of all the whole technologies, we did user tests for what? To know if the implementation of these technologies really improve the experience of the clients. So we did the test with different kind of profile, with blind people, with people that use wheelchair, with all elderly people, more than 65 years old, with people that is deaf that only talk in sign language, for example. And the good things of doing the user test is that they told us what can we do to improve the experience. For example, the push button of the automatic doors were relocated to be more easy to use for everybody. The door opening time was extended to make it easier for a wheelchair users to pass through. Navila's message were improved for blind users also. The mobile application that control all home automation products was enhanced to make it more intuitive and easier to use for any user. So I recommend that even if you know about accessibility, even if you are sure that what have to be improved, after that, test with users is a good practice, because we all learn about the user experience. So these are some of the things that the equipment that we install on the hostel, but I prefer to tell the story in a video. Can you get up the volume, please? Volume to the video. Espera.
Entre el norte de Castilla y León y Cantabria encontramos las merendades. En el corazón de este territorio está el valle de Vallet y su capital, Santiago. Aquí se encuentra el albergue juvenil de Santiago, uno de los espacios más vivos y dinámicos de la zona. El albergue es un motor cultural y turístico que ahora da un paso decisivo. Con el proyecto Accessibilidad quiere convertirse en referente de turismo accesible, no solo en Castilla y León, sino en toda la red española de albergues juveniles. En la recepción, que se encuentra en el lado izquierdo del recibidor cuando entra por la puerta principal.
Con el proyecto Soncillo Accesible hemos incorporado distintas tecnologías para mejorar la experiencia de todas las personas. Bucle magnético de recepción, Domotización de puertas principales. Códigos navideños para ambientación.
La terraza está solana y tiene unos bancos para sentarse y descansar.
Tecnología visual para personas con discapacidad auditiva. Todo esto forma parte de un plan que analiza, implementa y gestiona datos de accesibilidad en tiempo real, elevando la autonomía y la satisfacción de los profesionales.
Con este proyecto, lo que queríamos es asociar la digitalización con la mejora de la accesibilidad de los huéspedes y clientes con requisitos de accesibilidad y con discapacidad. Lo que hace único o pionero a este proyecto es que por primera vez se han instalado soluciones digitales para generar datos de uso de estas herramientas por parte de los huéspedes de un establecimiento hotelero o un alojamiento.
Nosotros formamos parte de RED, la Red Española de Redes Móviles, que a su vez pertenece a Hostel International, una red mundial que lleva décadas fomentando este espíritu.
Este proyecto fue una idea de ILUNION Accesibilidad y lo que queríamos es un laboratorio donde llevarlo a cabo. Gracias a REA, nosotros llegamos a hablar con el director del albergue y fue quien estuvo dispuesto a ser nuestros socios para hacer este proyecto una realidad.
Además, trabajamos con empresas locales para que actividades como rafting, espeleologías, senderismo o rutas a caballo sean cada vez más inclusivas. El objetivo es que todas las personas puedan disfrutar de lo que esta comarca ofrece.
Okay, what? Thank you. So what we achieve in this project, better customer information of the hostel accessibility, provide more autonomy to the users with accessibility needs through technology, apply the user opinion to approve accessibility, increase the user satisfaction and engagement, set up a management system to support the accessibility planification and decisions making. I'm going to share with you some screen of the dashboard that we already designed. This is a specific dashboard for the youth hostel. So the first dashboard, for example, the youth hostel have a complete 55% of the whole accessibility criteria. And this is the level of accessibility for every kind of physical accessibility, blind accessibility. If the criteria, if the accommodation complete or match the right criteria, so we said, good, you are doing a good work, and we explain why this criteria is essential for them. But when they are not completing the right accessibility criteria, we tell them with unhappy faces. We encourage to improve. And for example, in this criteria is the counter. It had to be two level in the counter, and the hostel doesn't have the 2 level in the counter. So we said this is a legal requirement for accommodation in Spain. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. And okay, I know that you are leaving soon. So if somebody wants to, ask a question to her, do it now, because she will probably have to leave a bit earlier because she's in another session moderating. So, but one thing I would like to say, which is to me fantastic, and that's one of the values of having you in this session, is that another way of using money, of using public money, is not reinventing the wheel, but using existing tools and integrating them with other things, okay, with other tools, digital tools, to to enhance the accessibility, to enhance the use for the clients, and also for the managers of the tourism like your hostel, but this can be done scalable and usable by a lot of other tourist providers. So I think that is a really fantastic idea and inspiring, because that's what we want in this summit, to have inspiring things. So please, if you have a question, I will probably have to, sorry, it's not...
Hello, I'm Monica from Germany. So it was financed by the European funds and the publicity. So it's an open source solution so that everyone can adopt it, because it was public money, or is it now a closed thing for the Spanish tourism?
Good question.
This is for us, this was a pilot project. Right now, we have the first demo of a tool that we want to continue improving this tool, because what is our goal? To collect all the data of different kind of accommodation, and after that to share this data with the smart Spanish national platform. Share this data with the tourist ministry, share this data with the destination, for example. There is other tools in Spanish that already are collecting information, but this information is just provide for the diagnosis. The diagnosis that an expert consultant in accessibility go to the accommodation and do the diagnosis and collect this information. But the difference with our projects is we introduce other technologies that have been already are common in this. The use of this technology are common in Spanish, in Spain, on the destination, and also in the, for example, in the train station, in the transport. There are common technologies. So we want to collect the different data that is generated for the whole kind of technology in a only tool. This is our idea. I don't know if I answered your question or not. No, I'm sorry.
I guess you were maybe asking if this is a project which received funding and doesn't have a possible future if not with other funding, etc., or
That's why we asked this funding to build this tool. Right now, we will sell this tool to the accommodation. It's
okay. So right. Okay, so I got it. So being that a project funded by principally principle from the European Union, are you allowed then to sell the product that you have developed with public money? But probably your money was not directly European funding, but was Spanish funding. It's not a European Commission funded project, but it is these are funds that go from European Commission to the country, and the country uses. So I think this is a different case, I would say.
The tourist ministry, the Spanish tourist ministry, to give the money to do this project.
Good. And now we are late, so we can go ahead. So, no, thank you, Tatiana. So, and now it's the turn of another interesting things, a bit different. And so we have Florian Vallet, okay, and you are a sport and disability project manager in the canoe kayak French Federation, right? Especially with the Paralympic French team. Yeah. Isn't it? And you are a volunteer in an association as a seat ski, okay, pilot in winter, because you live in the mountains, close to the mountains, right? And lucky you. And you have created Activhandi, with your wife Angelina in 2018. And so you promote adapted outdoor activities and accessible itineraries in the nature. And you know, Activhandi attracts 70,000 users, okay, to find their next activity. So I'm quite interested in understanding what is this Activhandi, okay? Thanks a lot.
So, hello everyone. I'm happy to be here. So that's the first time I present my work, so I'm a little stressed, but it's okay. So I'm Florian from Activhandi. We create like in 2018. So the first step in Activhandi, yeah, it's just promoting outdoor activities and adaptive path in nature. And during the COVID crisis, we create a travel agency. It was very interesting to create sports travel, itineraries travel, so that sports is very the heart of the project. It's not that it's very, because I present you Angelina. She's my wife. She tried many activities. She doesn't know swimming, but she tried Nautic skiing. She she has vertigo, but she tried paragliding. So love is love. So that's the beginning of the story, the love story. And now we have two IT engineers in the company. And since April this year, we have one associate as a mentor to grow, to structure our startup. And to understand better the next project with Compostela, that's Activhandi, short itineraries in nature. So we have now 300. So in France, on some part of Europe. So now we start to grow this database to the community. In each path are the same method. Here, an example in Courchevel, the luxury ski resort close to here. So in each, you can find public toilets, point of water, and picnic sites, forest. And we had season, because in mountain, I live just near Annecy, Chamonix, so snowing is is very different to on the path. So it's to create security, autonomy, and the best fun. You need to have a good time in the path. And we had more information about different types of disabilities and the car park, the start of the path, on many pictures. And we love test. We test the sum of all paths. So that's the beginning before 2023. So now we have a new part of businesses. This is the second step for us. We made engineering. So we create outdoor activities sites. Here you have an example about fishing point. We create this. This is a 3D draw. So we create now this fishing point, and we have a specialty with the winter, and the same engineering for path, and we have engineering for events. And now the biggest part for us, it's formation with Erasmus program. Here it's a picture of Italian, Maltese, and Turkish professional of tourism. How to understand how do you create I don't like this to create accessible tourism and to create outdoor activities. So that's our business part. And in each project, we use the vision like universal accessibility or design for all. But for a path, we love comfortable for all. You need no any difficulties. Ground quietly, different rest sites to walk quietly. So comfortable for all. It's for all different type of disabilities. Angina is in a wheelchair, but it's not the only one. We need two different types of disabilities. So now I present the project. So so this is the third part to each step to arrive from this this project. So 4 natural parks in France want to develop engineering on the Compostela, Camino del Santiago del Compostela. That's right. Well, and I'm very, very happy because one of them is a Geopark UNESCO on World Heritage. So the level is high for us. And in this mission, we have 2 different parts, but technology is not very, very far. So the first part is engineering for different longer of path. The question was, how do you create accessibility for 90 kilometers? That's the first question. Second, it's commercialization. I think it's a very good mission because you have creating, it's not like creating, and promotion, commercialization, you have the both to the two part. And commercialization for us, it's travel. Yeah, that's travel. And hiking, it's as for one day you go to walk with your wife, with your friend. It's not like a travel. It's for local people or in your neighborhood, for example. So I present the different methodology, each. So the third necessary to discover the path, it's to hike. So I present you, Claude is a blind person. We walk during 90 kilometers. To understand this type of disabilities, he's needed and his dog. So to understand this needed to walk alone with autonomy and fun in these itineraries. And we have topographic equipment because we, no, not because, to capt GPS point each 30 meters to have the good GPS track. And in each point, we had different information like type of ground when you cross the road, for example. So this is hiking is the first step to understand the hike. And we located different west site, picnic, public toilet, for example. So different database we had to create the project. Next, we create, for me, it's normally it's not innovation, but we create a hiking guide about accessibility for each other. The 90 kilometers, we cut each 10 kilometers, and we had difficulties, dangerous point, car parks, accommodation, point of water, and natural sites, environmental or cultural sites, and the part of accessibility for elders, for wheelchair, for family with a stroller. So this is a guide before you go on the way. And we had the different picture to understand the itineraries before you go. I know in 2 months, this picture was not real because this natural park could be improve the document. And with topographic equipment, after we create the GPS track, we share this GPS track in a vocal app, mobile app, sorry, for vocal system for blind person to walk with autonomy in nature. It existing now. So that's the last part to be more autonomy in the itineraries. So next step, this is the biggest part of project for me, for us, because we create a map, we create a database. In blue, we geolocated photos on each point of the itineraries. So for this, we had 700 photos. So and we create database with red, it's not possible for a wheelchair, and green, it's okay for all person, and orange, it's not, I'm not sure for you. And we add on the map the different services. So now this is not for me. This is for the community, for you, and each natural park share this map on its website to share the information. So that's a big part of us, not just like engineering, but to share information about your journey on the itineraries. Last point, it's commercialization. So we create different travel itineraries, multi-activities, and we translate, I don't like this word, we translate for vocal document, and we create this holiday by audio description to add in a website to understand. So that for us, it's a beautiful innovation to create this type of travel by audio description on the hiking guide. So it's very, very interesting to have the global chain for promotion. So this is interesting, but distribution is very important. So Activhandi have many partners. Here is one, is called Decathlon, the manufacturer, the company, yeah. And some of our travel was promoted and distributed in this platform. So it's not just like Activhandi. Activhandi, it's okay, thank you. But Decathlon is it's the best for communicate and to share this travel. So it's a next step after create travel. So no, just after this world, some of institution say hello, Florian. So now we have a partnership with the French National Agency about Compostela, because it's Compostela, to share our experience, information, and that we thought on the itineraries for accommodation, for hotel, for etc. And second part, we wrote a call of project to financial head for association to create travel between Geneva to La Pluie-en-Velay to create travel for person with disabilities. So we create this call of interest, and now for the perspective, we could imagine for other itineraries in Europe to create the same type with a European Public Fund, for example, to create this type of methodology in other itineraries. So thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Florian. And again, as you have seen also in this presentation by Florian, there are some interesting things and some objectives. You use existing, let's say, solution tools that are available, and you use them partly because you want to deploy them to give services, and also in the moment in which you use them, you are using some open data, and you also give them also to others to be used. Like the GIS part of it, because what you do it for yourself, can do it also for your business, and it being a sporty guy and an adventurer, you're interested also in sharing the information as other do, in the world. So I like your idea, and again, a multifaceted way of making it. Okay, so we are going to the last, but not least, naturally, presentation for today, and I'm very glad to present you William Del Negro from Udine and Italy, and he is founder and CEO of WillEasy, which is an innovative SME based in Friuli, Venezia Giulia, and you are specialized in developing digital solutions for accessibility. So with both personal and professional experience deeply connected to inclusion, you have led the company in pioneering projects that combine technological innovation, with social impact. And I'm happy because you are going to introduce to the audience the importance of the accessibility of open data, accessible open data, and focusing on the difference between very technical thing but very interesting thing at the same time, GTFS and NETEX. So, and their role in creating more inclusive transport system. We're talking about transport now, which is another very important thing when we talk about tourism and travels. And you will present key case studies, and some of them you have performed directly with the WillEasy. So really, I'm very happy, and the floor is yours, William.
Thank you. Good afternoon to ladies and gentlemen. Today I'd like to share our experience and vision on how open data can transform accessibility of transport, and how it can become a real driver for inclusion, innovation, and transparency across Europe. I'd like to start with a simple question. So, what do we mean? What do we mean with open data? Open data are data sets that are freely available, reusable, and shareable without restrictive licenses. They allow institutions, developers, and citizens to create new services and insights that benefit everyone. When we apply the principle of open data, the principle of accessibility to open data, we can create a tool for equity. Open data make it possible to know which places, which routes, which transport services are usable by whom, and how to integrate this information with apps, with web services, with mobility systems. Accessibility open data is not only a technical information, but can be a foundation for inclusion. As Emiliano told, is a very technical information. So I would like to introduce you what is the GTFS and the NETEX. In the transport sector, we have two main standards that guide how data is structured and shared. The GTFS is a standard made by Google, so it's a private, and NETEX is a public standard that is made by the CEN, the European Committee for Standardization. Both describe network timetables, stops, but they have different purposes. GTFS is very lightweight, is widely used worldwide, and perfect for applications like Google Maps and Citymapper. The NETEX, on the other hand, is more detailed and is designed for national and European interoperability. It can represent complex system, fares, and even accessibility information on the granular level. So, which are the difference between these two standards? The GTFS is very simple. It is a CSV, so a text that is available in a zip folder, or in a compressed folder. And it's very easy to publish, to use, but it's very limited and has very few information about the accessibility. So with the GTFS, you can know which are the stops, where it is, and just know if a stop is wheelchair accessible or not. The NetX is XML based. It's created by the CEN, the European Commission, and includes multiple levels of information. The levels 1 to 4 are the classical level with information about tickets, fares, stops, timetables, and so on. The level 5 is totally dedicated to accessibility, and so we can have on this level information about the lift, ramps, escalators, the state of running of these devices, and a lot of other information. Now I'd like to introduce 2 case studies. One is from London. That is the first city that started 15 years ago to use open data and also accessibility open data in the transport sector. And then the Lisbon case that is made by WillEasy and our company. So let's go to London. London is a pioneer on the use of open data. They start using the GTFS, so the first standard that I introduced, and APIs, that is a way to let's communicate data with applications. These datasets include accessibility information on underground and rail services, whether lift or ramps are available, or if escalators are out of service, and even a real-time update is on this system. This transparency has allowed developer of like Google Maps, City Mappers, but a very huge number of small developers. It's estimated that over 600 developers use every day this open data to create new solution based on it, integrating this data on their services. The impact of this has been very huge, because users with disabilities can plan their routes independently, and the companies can innovate their services, but users increase the use of public transport instead of private transport. So it's very important also for the municipalities or governments. In Lisbon, on the first half of 2023, we made a pilot with WillEasy, and we collect information about the accessibility of all the 50 stations of the metro lines, and the data set was built so in this case with the GTFS and GTFS real time, and then also we added our own data set to include the data about the accessibility. The data we collect are very detailed, so we collect data about all the entrance, the exit, all the devices, the different areas, platforms, and so on. What makes this project unique is that we introduce the participation of citizens. With a web app, passenger can report the live status of elevators or escalators, so enriching our data set. And this creates the first completely accessibility data set for Lisbon's metro. And is an example how the standards and civic participation can make mobility transparent, inclusive, and participatory. So the other standard is the NetX. NetX in Europe is present in the most countries, but only with the line levels 1 to 3. Now some countries are approaching the level 5 with information about the fares and ticketing. But with the level 5, sorry, the level 4, fares and ticketing, the level 5, at the moment, no country has yet defined fully implemented the national level 5 profile. There are some pilots in France, Denmark, Italy, and Portugal. And there are some work in progress, some discussion within the CEN in some European project. So the level 5 is a future-oriented goal, and this requires a coordination between among the operators, government, and technology providers, and this is what we are trying to do with our work. The next step is to use our knowledge that we had thanks to the Lisbon project and bring this project here in Turin. Thanks to an open call made by the city of Turin, we have the opportunity to work to create the level 5 of NetX here in Turin, and then share this standard, this study to all other Italian regions, also to the government. And the next step is to share this in all Europe. So no. Okay. To do this, 2 weeks ago in Udine, in Friuli Venezia Giulia, we had another international event. We had the possibility to create a multi-stakeholder group made by different cities like Turin, like Udine, the CNR, is the National Committee of Research of Italy, the city of Maya from Portugal, and other important members. With this working group, with work to create a proposal for the level 5 of NetX. And so our aim is to drive the innovation in accessibility in accessibility data and use this project to go from a local project to a European and important new project. So if someone can be interested to be part, because it's a very open project, we need the support, the knowledge of everyone on this field. You can contact us and be part of this, I think, revolutionary project. Thank you.
So thank you very much, William. I think there will be people asking questions, but I have first question. I have the lack of having the microphone in my hand. And so basically what is very interesting and important of the project that you are doing is that you have taken an example, a very famous good practice, London, of being the first one of using, let's say, a set of data regarding accessibility in transport, and you use that experience to make your own experience, trying to fill up, basically, for the first time, a level, okay, of this, how can you say it? You are a technician, this NetX, how do you call it? Model of open data.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay, which has the interesting thing of being European and being used by a European organization. Okay, and so being it available to all the countries of Europe. And doing this pilot that you have done in Lisbon, you prove that there is the possibility of filling up this level, okay, of data on accessibility. And the idea is sharing it to the world and with other destinations, cities, etc., to be able to do the same and create a network, right?
Yeah.
So the first question is, do Lisbon use the data of level 5 for some purpose already, for the users, for the clients, for the travelers, or it's still in the phase of using it in the back office, let's say? Okay.
No, actually, they are not using this, but because they don't have the same view among the municipality of Lisbon and the owner of the Metropolitano da Lisboa, because the company, the transport company, doesn't believe in the transparency of open data. So they think that be transparent is not a good thing, but can be dangerous, because they show what's
not going
on, and so they don't want to use the open data, but we hope that we can change the idea.
I know that
it's not.
Yes.
We don't. It's not time lost, because it was a very important project, and this project is a pilot that has been appreciated in other countries, where we explain what we did, and different countries demonstrate interest in our work. For example, the city of Turin is very interested. For this reason, we can try, probably with more participation of the municipality, of the transport company, and I hope the citizens. One thing that I didn't say before, which is the aim of this project, to allow people with special needs, accessibility needs, or disabilities to create their own journey. For example, if because my need is different from yours, so if I can do a 10 centimeter step, or if I can walk on pavement, or I can do a ramp. Every situation is different from another. So having all the information about the accessibility of everything inside the station of the bus stops can allow developers that can develop a journey planner to create my specific journey.
Yes, whether I can use an escalator or not, you know,
Yes.
those kind of things. So you can have a journey map.
Create a journey that can be longer than the one that can be used for you. But for example, if a lift is not working on that platform, it can say, go on the next stop, come back, and on the other side, you will find the lift to go out. So
like when in Google you try to reach a certain place and they tell you go use the metro or the tram or the bus. It can be the same of I want to go and take the bus or the metro, but okay, I have some specific needs, and okay, the best way, the best path for you is
yeah.
path A or path B. Okay, see, oh, that's quite interesting. But what is interesting is that, well, you come to the right place, because in this these 2 days you will find you have a lot of people from Portugal and also from Turismo de Portugal, and so you probably know them, you know, but also the city of Turin, naturally, but also other possibly interested, you know, parties, you know, around Europe for that. And thank you very much, William. We still have some minutes if you want to ask some questions to the people here on the stage. Yes, please.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Really clear. I had a question about the open data from Lisbon or London. You said it's open data, but it is not used. But in my mind, when it's open data, it is usable. Am I right? Or is it the work is done, but it is still on the server somewhere and not open data yet?
No, in London, they are using it since 15 years ago. And a research demonstrated that London invests more or less 1 billion pounds per year in open data, and the gain, or direct or indirect, is 80 billions. So the use of open data in London, they believe in this, and they have a lot of advantages. Lisbon has been a pilot with an open call. Unfortunately, they don't, not the municipality, as I told, the transport company doesn't catch the opportunity of use, because as they told before, using European funds, all that we did, the application, everything is open, so everyone can have access to our code, to our application, and so on. They didn't use it.
Okay, but if someone wants to use it, they can, or is it?
Yes, but you can go, for example, to see the data, you can go on open.willeasy.app
Okay.
and see, but are not updated, because when we finished our work, nobody pays us to keep updated this data. So the data are updated 1 year ago.
And do you think in the future it's possible to ask or to obliged every transport operator to give his data in level 5.
I think yes, because the European Union created this NetX because the previous standard, the GTFS, is a private because it's made by Google. It's an American standard. So now they would like to have a public standard with open data in transport. They started with the first 4 levels that are necessary to plan a journey, so bus stops, fares, timetable, and so on. The 5th level, they are waiting that someone can define a standard, a good standard, then to make it, to ask to the municipalities and transport company to use this level 5. But since we don't have a real standard, European standard, there are some pilots, so we are fighting to accelerate the process to make it available for everyone, and ask the transport company to use it.
Okay, thank you very much.
So there is another thing in the agenda, Matteo, to do. Trying to push DG Move and the European Commission to to use this because it's very important for transport and therefore for travel, therefore for tourism. Okay. Other questions? 1 minute? Yes.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I had a question related to the open data. Is it verified data also before being open? Because we've been using it for Marseille. I will present tomorrow the use case. And we had to verify that the data were correct because some of them were not really true. So we had to ask people to go and verify whether the accessibility was right. So is it something you plan to do in the future?
Yeah, so how can we verify our approach is multi-source. So the first is to go personally with our persons to collect data, for example, in a metro station, etc. The second one is to use the crowdsourcing, so the participation of citizens that with the web app then can signal if a stop is accessible for their specific disability. So a lot of people that make an information on a specific stop probably is correct. And the third is to use IoT sensor or Internet of Things or image recognition to get information. So we compare 3 different sources to validate the data and have a good quality.
Okay, great. And that's great because now we found that we have some other connections between projects going on, with the things move, sometimes move in the same direction, but sometimes we don't know. So it's good also to have these moments like this to share the experience and understanding that we are going more or less towards the same direction. So thank you very much for having been in these sessions. So another round of applause to the people here. And thank you very much. And I'll see you around in the other sessions.